Well, hello everyone to a surprise or semi-surprise Thursday evening when I'm here with Gareth, and we're
Hello.
going to be discussing the complete short stories of J.G. Ballard. Now, not actually the complete stories because we haven't finished all of the stories. We were planning to do this a little more often than we have, but I think it's fine. We've been at this for a bit. So, should we tell people a little bit about J.G. Ballard if they're just
Yeah.
tuning in and don't know exactly who? Do you want to take it off the cuff, or should I read the Wikipedia?
You start with that, and I'll just add a couple of bits.
All right. I
Probably,
mean,
possibly.
I have a Wikipedia page open, so I'm
Do
just
the
going to read
yeah.
from it.
Do the dates, and
Uh,
where he's from.
James Graham Ballard, November 15th, 1930 to April 19th, 2009, was an English novelist and short story writer, satirist, and essayist known for psychologically provocative works of fiction that explore the relations between human psychology, technology, sex, and mass media. Ballard first became associated with the new wave science fiction post apocalyptic worlds such as The Drowned World, 1962. He later courted controversy with the short story collection The Atrocity Exhibition, 1970, which includes the 1968 story Why I Want to Fuck Ronald Reagan. Sorry for the language. And the later novel Crash, 1973, a story about car crash fetishes. I think that's it's not the complete introduction, but sort of gives you an idea of who J.G. Ballard was.
Yeah. Yeah. He obviously was very important as a writer well before some adaptations of his work has happened. But recently, not that recently, but relatively recently, there was the Cronenberg adaptation of Crash, which was obviously very controversial. Which I've seen. Have you seen that? The
I
film of
have
Crash.
not seen the movie.
Yeah. I haven't read the book yet. I'm going to hopefully this year, but I've heard it's pretty literal. It's pretty close to the book. There you go. Yeah. So my copy's upstairs. And there was an adaptation of High Rise. And High Rise is currently my most viewed book review on my channel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's got nearly 900 views, which is good for a book review. Um, so that's a great book, but it's very savage. It's interesting because I think you can really see his personality in his writing. So his High Rise was Tom Hiddleston's film. It's like quite recent. But he's got this sort of reputation for the cli-fi stuff, like Drowned World, Crystal World, The Drought.
The Drowned World. Oh no, this is the Burning World. I have the
Yeah.
Drowned World on my Kindle.
Yeah. There's like a series of novels, like Concrete World, which is about that. It's like a small, like roundabout, I think, that becomes separated politically from the rest of the town. I think that's the plot of the Concrete World.
Okay.
But yeah, so he definitely has got that reputation as well. Very fascinating man. And I thought I can't even remember how we decided to do this, but when we decided to do this, I thought this is, it's the fact that this exists where they're all in one volume. You've got it in one and I've got it in two, but or they're all collected together. I think it's so cool to explore such a fascinating man like this.
It is. I mean, I got this when it first came out. When did this collection? Let me look at the copyright page. Yeah, 2009, and I remember I probably saw it sitting at a Borders bookshop, and my wife was saying, well, "What can I get you for Christmas?" And I go, "Complete Stories of J.G. Ballard."
Yeah, that'll do.
It's great. I mean, and I originally tried to start reading it when I got it back in 2009, and I was going to read it cover to cover as my main book. And I've discovered that reading short story collections, that's really not a great way to read a short story collection.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've discovered that short story collections are best savored over a longer period of time, which brings us to how we're doing this. And the idea was we're going to read one short story per week.
Well, I think initially it was 2 a week, wasn't it?
I don't think it was 2. I think it was 1. Well, there are some cases where you have like a 3-page story.
Yeah.
And then you can read 2. And we were going to take some breaks. And then I'm not going to continue to hold this because this is a wrist breaker. Your 2 volumes.
Yours must be worse than mine. Yours, is it about 1,200 pages, your one?
Almost 1,200, yes.
Yeah, this is 770 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to read it. I'll just sit and it's like, you just don't absorb too many short stories, but I think it's much better with 1 story a week. And I'm sure we're going to take breaks eventually. Like you're going to go on holiday. I'm going to go on holidays. And look, I can't read. I'm not bringing that book on a plane with me.
Yeah, although you could probably take a Kindle version of that, right? Have you got a Kindle version of it?
Well, I have the hardcover version and I have the audiobook version.
Oh, right.
For a while they were selling the Kindle version for like $4.99. And I almost bought it, but I'm going like, okay, I've got a print version. I've got an audio. I don't need another version of that book. But so, yeah, that's how we're doing it. And now, at least I am up to The Gentle Assassin. The last one I read. And that's like 200 some odd pages. So
Yeah.
we're getting into where, and this is where we can start talking about it. It's like, before we get to let's go back to the very first. Do you remember the very first short story in this collection?
It's Prima Belladonna. I think it's called
Prima Belladonna. And that was it was written in 1956 or published in 1956. So I guess he was about 25, 26 years old when he started publishing. And this one was about a guy who ran a flower shop of flowers that can sing.
Yeah.
And you could order
go on.
Like you could order Puccini flower or something, and the flower would sing Puccini to you. I'm not sure if that's the exact musician he used in the story, but it was that sort of example. And for a first short story, I thought it was fairly decent, you know.
It's fine. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that he comes back to music a lot.
He does come to me. I mean, you're a musician, so you can like sort of judge what he's talking about a bit.
Yeah, I quite like that, and I think he seems to be someone who knows about music as well. Some of the things he references. So yeah, that's interesting, and he goes back to plants a lot as well, doesn't he? So yeah, he got these two of his fascinations in the first story, and I did like the idea of singing plants is awesome, and whenever he does talk about music, he does it in a quite a revered way. It's like he looks up to music. It's like he thinks it's a wondrous thing. I think, it's always a positive. He doesn't see it like, you don't have, so far anyway, we haven't had a story where music is a nightmarish thing, I don't think.
There were a couple, there was 1 or 2 other stories. Now, some of them I read like a year ago, so my memory may not be absolutely perfect on all the stories, but I remember there was like one other story where
Sound Sweep maybe
seen
as a bit like that. Yeah, that might be like, we can get to that later. Yeah. So yeah, it was quite a short and not particularly narrative story, was it? I mean, that's one of the things I found about these early ones, that the first few, it seemed
not a lot of characters.
Yeah, not a lot of characters.
It's all idea.
Yeah. And I think that he starts developing his writing as he goes along, I think. But yeah, it wasn't a bad way to start. Yeah,
and you mentioned there was a story that he wrote. Mr. F is Mr. F.
Yeah,
that's a little bit more. And I think in Vox you mentioned like he's starting to come out of that shell.
Yeah,
and grow as an author in that story where he can start building characters.
Well, also I think I don't know if you get this, but he stops talking at us, starts talking to us. So there's this sort of authoritative thing. And have you ever seen interviews with him?
No, I haven't.
Because he's got quite a direct and acerbic kind of mannerism and how he talks as well, and that kind of it softens a bit later on, later stories. And Mr. F is Mr. F is written much more conversationally. It's like he's talking to us rather than at us. That's what I thought. So yeah, I think that's quite a refreshing change when you get to that point. But I did like the second story, Escapement. The second one we read. Remember that one?
Yeah, I will remember it as soon as you start briefly talking about the.
So a man and his wife are watching TV, and he keeps reliving the same 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, it's very Twilight Zone-y.
Very, very Twilight Zone-y, and he never really explains it.
No.
And now, I mean, I guess we can spoil a little. I mean, this short story, but after he breaks out, his wife starts experiencing it as well. And it's not really explained. Is he passing that on to her? Or is that something everyone is starting to experience?
Yeah, it's almost like his version of deja vu or something that he's trying to say that we all experience it or something. But yeah, it was quite an interesting. I quite liked it. That was one of the better ones. I got some notes. I've got little asterisks on the ones that I liked.
Okay, cool. I can mention some of the ones that really struck me, and the one, especially his early story, that I really found fascinating. I still think it's considered one of his best. Is the concentration city.
Okay, that was the next one.
And essentially that is a future where everything has become one gigantic. I mean, all the cities have merged essentially one big city.
Again, he's tackling overpopulation, which is another thing he looks at a few times.
He does talk about and I remember is the guy gets on a train and doesn't have enough fare to get off. Is that right?
Yeah.
And so he just keeps riding the train across the world. And there was an old stupid song they sung in camp about a guy on the Boston Underground. A man who never returned.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the fact is that he didn't have enough fare to get off the subway train.
Yeah.
And every day his fares keep getting higher and higher. And can't get it. But it sort of reminded me of that.
Yeah. I think it's much more. I mean, I think it's good. It's much more convoluted than Millennium, which is also in our little batch that we've already read. And Millennium's really good. Very short, but really quite a unique take on overpopulation because it's all about apartments getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So
we should talk about. I mean, we're going out of order, but
sorry.
Who cares?
I mean, it's only because the theme, the theme of overpopulation. But yeah, just the fact that it ends up with them in like the main character's in an apartment that's like the size of a cupboard, and that's where he lives. And I just think I thought that becomes satire, doesn't it? Because it just becomes ridiculous. And I thought that was really good. But yeah, sorry to leap a bit, but yeah, Concentration City is really good as well.
And I was reading this, and it's like he's living in this basically like a broom closet sized room, maybe a little bit bigger. And he discovers that there's a walled up door to a forgotten apartment. And I guess it would have been like a 12 by 15 foot apartment or something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing grand in our. Excuse me. And I was reading this on a guest bed with my cat, saying, "This room in that story is palatial in size,
luxury." Yeah.
Where they were fitting at first 4 people, and they said, well, we can fit one more person in, and then all of a sudden it's like they crammed 12 people in this room, and it's just considered perfectly normal.
Yeah. I mean, there are obviously places around the world where it is like that, and there are definitely situations like that for asylum seekers and things like that. So you could have, if he wanted to, he could have extended it to an us and them situation. But it was more of a this is how bad overpopulation is going to get, rather than just for some people. This was like, no, this is for all people.
I know. And if you look at I get some videos on New York City apartments, and which are essentially these. I mean, you reach out your hands, and both hands are on the wall, and that's what you get in New York City.
Really? Now?
Yeah, it's like $800 a month for a room that size.
Jesus.
But you're living in Manhattan, I think, so it's like paying for it. But you know, like you said, cramming all. Now the thing is, I don't necessarily. Let's just stick with the story. I mean, a bit about Manhattan. Just all the rich people are taking all the big spaces and not even living in them.
Yeah.
They just have it for investment.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that these skyscrapers, the tall building, no one lives there. And I'm going because someone, you know, it's considered an investment, and why ruin your investment with someone living in an apartment?
They're like 80 levels, is it? And there's this like crazy,
insane
science. Yeah.
Imagine what Ballard would have done with that story in there. I mean, we haven't gotten to the end of the collection, though, so we may get to it.
Yeah, he likes going back to his themes, so yeah, we'll probably have more overpopulation stuff. And after Conservation City, we go back to music again with Venus Smiles. That was about musical sculptures.
Musical sculptures, okay, yes.
Yeah, so it was. I really liked it because of the concept of a musical sculpture, and it seemed to have a good beginning, middle, and end. But it wasn't like amazing, but it was good. It was like they commission the musical sculpture, and then it ends up playing the wrong music, and it annoys people. So the guy ends up just taking it and having it in his home, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger because the music makes it grow.
That's right. Then, I remember that one now.
Yeah, I thought the sort of narrative aspect of it was quite interesting. You didn't know where it was going to go. Sometimes, you know, some short stories, again, when you were saying about he's an ideas man, some short stories, if they got a great idea, sometimes they haven't got a great ending, but I think that had a good ending. So you need to have a good ending in a short story, I think, you know.
And there was a really good, there's one I liked, is one of the few stories set not on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's one thing that I've noticed by Ballard is he's a very earthbound storyteller.
Yeah.
He does not go to foreign planets that often. And one of these stories was set.
The Waiting Grounds, wasn't it?
I think you're right. And unfortunately, I read that so long ago. My memory is just.
It's quite an Arthur C. Clarke kind of story, I think. Geologists look for lost geologists on another planet.
Yes, they're trying to decipher.
Yeah.
Writing on a wall.
Yeah, and then they discover a big thing that they found that's called the Waiting Ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought you could see the influence of other, because he was quite proud of being called a science fiction writer, wasn't he? He was quite happy to be called that. And some of the kind of formative science fiction writers didn't like being called science fiction writers.
Yeah, Harley Nelson was a big one on that. He did not like it.
He hated it. Yeah, he used to call himself a speculative writer. And I'd say he does science. I mean, he does everything really, but he does science fiction a lot. So I don't really see why he says that. J.G. Ballard, you could understand why he might say that, but he doesn't. He's quite happy to be called that. And I think that might be that he liked people like Arthur C. Clarke and liked being in the same camp as them. You know.
I think he's just a little bit younger than they were.
Yeah. I think that's why they would have influenced him, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to take a quick hi to our we have some people.
Hi, Constance.
Constance Campbell, hello, Lee. Oh, she's got a copy of Ballard too.
Oh, yeah, probably won't take you long to catch up.
Yep. Well, Lee, if you want me to add you to the Boxer group, with Gareth, and you can chime in on the stories you want to talk about, or just let us talk. Let me know. Oh, that's the song, the MTA.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Omnivorous reader. Lee, I just finished a book about a lady hired to work in a museum and speak Latin to the statues.
Ah.
That's ringing a bell. Love that, Lee. Other Greg here, Ghost Readers in the
Greg.
Sky. Hello, world. I know about J.G. Ballard, but I haven't read any of his work yet. Are there any events in his life that we newbies should know about before reading his stories?
I have deliberately not looked him up because I think, from what I've heard in the periphery, I don't think he was particularly progressive.
Probably not by our standards.
Yeah, so I've not really looked into it. I thought I just want to read some stuff by him.
Just enjoy his stories and let the fact that he would have been not someone you'd want to associate with outside of the writing. Just let that.
I don't know. It seems, for me, not to be 100% sure. It seems a bit bad to say it, but I think he may have been homophobic, but I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I'm not going to look into it. So I don't know. And I certainly don't know about events in his life. I mean, that's Greg might have been talking about if there's something we should know about in general, but
right.
I don't know about anything he's done. I don't think he's done anything. I don't think I've heard anything like that. Be more about his politics.
No, I mean, I was reading the Wikipedia page, and I said I did not. No, he did live in Shanghai for a while,
right?
And I think that's where he got his novel, Empire of the
Empire of the Sun. Yeah,
and that's a non-science fiction novel.
Yeah. It's a biography thing, isn't it?
I believe it is.
I think it's important if it's in the stories. If it's like, because I had to look up Anthony Burgess when I was reading The Wanting Seed, because I just like, this is weird, and I was watching interviews with him and footage of him speaking, and it definitely reflected some things I was reading in The Wanting Seed. So I think if we found something in here that was like, well, that's a bit odd, then I might want to look into something then. But I'm not finding anything like that. So
no. And he's also still. I mean, right now he's still a young man. I think the story we just finished was published in 1961.
Right. Yeah.
So he would have just been turning 30, 31 when he wrote that story. So still relatively young, probably at the phase where you have youthful politics that will eventually grow into something different, but who knows?
Well, that's another thing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, people change as well. I'll never forget. I don't know if we don't want to necessarily go on about this whole thing, bouncing off Greg's comment, but I remember there's massive furore about Liam Neeson because he did this interview where he talked about something that he felt and said when he was like a teenager, and he was describing it as something that he thinks is out of order and think that he thought he was wrong as a teenager, and the press just grabbed onto that thing that he said rather than the fact he was saying it was wrong. And I just, celebrities have to be careful because people just jump on the wrong thing. But he was saying that people change, and he was ashamed of the fact that he thought that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you're right. J.G. Ballard might have thought something, and then he might change his mind about something. We're fluid people, aren't we?
We are. And the fact is nowadays is that we have gotten to the point that we are judging our artists for what they do and what they say, and not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, I've always tried to say like, judge the art, not the artist, but it's becoming rarer that people say that they think you can or should judge the artist for who they are. Now, I like that. I hear Greg joke because it's like, I like the idea of just enjoying the stories.
Yeah, I think there's a spectrum as well because, I would find it hard to talk about David Eddings on my channel now, and he was such a massive part of my childhood. But when it's child abuse, it's a little bit more horrific, isn't it? So I think there's a spectrum. If someone's got a different idea about politics than me, I should be tolerant, even if I disagree with them. But if they've done something like that, that's different.
Yeah, well, I agree. But, I'm going to throw this out as a possibility, or what I think. We have thousands of science fiction. I'll just stick with science fiction for the moment. And some of them are live. I can almost guarantee you that there is a living science fiction author right now who has committed a murder and has not been caught.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have anyone in mind. I'm just saying statistically, I think that's probable. And let's just say that person, cold case gets solved tomorrow. And go to your shelf and pick out one of your favorite science fiction, just at random. Oh, when he was 22, he killed his niece or something, or she killed her. Well, yeah, I said he, but would that change your idea of his books?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I mean, it's probably part of his life, but we're getting way off Ballard.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing. So yeah, it's got the musical sculptures in Video Smiles. I thought that was really good. And after that, Manhole 69, which I thought was really good. I'm
trying to hold up. Manhole 6. There is something about that.
3 volunteers go to have surgery to remove the need for sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
And it ends up kind of exploring why we actually need sleep, and they go a bit mad. Yeah, I thought it was good. I can't remember why it's called Manhole 69.
I don't either.
It's a great title.
Chronopolis and Voices of Time.
Oh yeah. Did you mark those down as particular favorites?
No. I'm just going back to the stories, and there was something about Chronopolis.
Where have I got that one?
That
yeah.
That sticking is like, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that was everything is scheduled by.
Oh, the time, yes.
Shopping, everything you do at business.
Your life is like.
It's absolutely regimented. Then there's a man who finds a watch, and then he ends up fixing the central watch, the central clock that controls all other clocks, and he gets arrested. So all that's it's more of a longer one, isn't it? I think.
It is, like it's 19 pages.
Yeah.
And I now I remember, is like there are people who are very time oriented people.
Yeah.
And there are people who are just not time oriented at all.
Mm-hmm.
You say, "Can you meet me at 3:00?" Yeah, for me, I would be there at 2:50 to make sure I'm there at 3. And then some people roll around. Well, it's 3:45. 3-ish. And this is a world where those kind of people would not be doing well.
No, you'd be punished for it. I think it reminded me. I thought it was good, but it reminded me about how much I love "Repent, Harlequin, Turn to TikTok Man" by Harlan Ellison, which I think is my favorite look at an authoritarian approach to time. I think that's an amazing story, but it's kind of Ballard's version of that, I guess. I don't know which one came first. I haven't got a way of looking it up, but yeah, I think it kind of reminded me of that. But it was really good. What was the other one you said? Chronopolis and The Voices of Time. Another one about sleep. I thought it was really scientific, that one. I think I found that a bit more of a hard slog, Venus. The Voices of Time, sorry.
Yeah.
There was a lot of physics in it.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Lots of numbers.
Yeah, lots of numbers.
And now they're going back and there was lots of.
I want to read letters, not numbers.
But I mean, the thing is, I'm getting to the point where his stories are now really, really getting into. I mean, he's really starting to hit his stride.
Yeah.
At this point, I guess this is, like I said, early '60s. Is like he's coming in. He's over his apprenticeship as an author.
Yeah.
Now the other one I liked also was Mr. F is F. Millennium's
brilliant. Yeah, I've read that a few times.
Overloaded Man.
I really like Lost World of Mr. Goddard.
Oh, that's the one where he's in a toy environment.
He's got a little tiny version of his house.
That's right, and he has that.
Out. Yeah, and he kind of makes decisions based around what he can see.
And other people are sort of obligated to do what's in his toy environment.
Yeah. Again, quite Twilight Zone-y. Quite Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah,
this would have been before the Twilight Zone.
59 was Twilight Zone.
Okay, so it's 61. He would have been right in the Twilight Zone era.
Yeah. Mr. F is the Benjamin Button one, isn't it? Where he goes.
Yes, that's where he's.
What's weird is it's the same time as his wife's pregnant, and it all just sort of merges.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool, but obviously quite mad. But yeah, he's getting younger and younger, and he ends up just becoming part of the womb.
Mm-hmm.
his life ends with the birth. What do you think of Deep End?
Deep End? I remember which one Deep End was.
I think is that quite a long one? I think that.
See, now that's actually one of the shorter ones. That was
okay.
235.
Yeah, it's only 20 pages again. A lot of them are kind of 20 pages-ish, aren't they?
They always slept during the day. By dawn, the last of the townsfolk had gone inside.
The Voices of Time was 40 pages.
Yeah, that was. Now that I remember, that was a long 40 pages.
Yeah, and the Sound Suite was 40 pages. Yeah, but a lot of them are 20 pages or less. Yeah, Deep End's interesting because it talks
that's the one about discovering the fish that was supposed to have been extinct.
Oh yeah.
That it was the last, and the basically this was early cli-fi.
Yeah.
Now I remember Vox hearing you say this is like one of the first examples of cli-fi where someone was so interested in the environment and knowing like this is where they use the water of the earth to seed other planets, and then we use up all our water, we have nothing left.
And people are living on the ocean bed that's been dried out.
Right.
And they mined the water for oxygen, didn't they?
Yes, and then they find this little pool of water where this ancient fish is the last of its kind, presumably. And someone just dries up the water, well, why are you worried about a fish? You know?
Yeah, it's that sort of flippancy. Yeah.
Yes.
And he's quite cold in the way he writes, I think. Which is why someone like Mr. F is quite different in its tone. It's a bit softer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like The Overloaded Man?
I'm just gonna have to go remember. Once you tell me the story, I remember.
So this was a man starts. He learns that he can eliminate the world just by. Is this the one? Hold on. Is this the one that he writes about them?
Oh, he writes something down and it happens.
Yeah.
Is that the one where? Yeah.
I think that's that one.
Oh yes, I remember. And I was sort of surprised. I mean, odd. The weirdest thing I remember is that the main character's name is Faulkner.
Yeah.
Which maybe to a British person, it wouldn't be because Faulkner is just such a heavy hitter in the name of American literature.
Yeah.
It's like if you write a short story and you say my character's name is Hemingway.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, why?
And he would have known that. He would have done that deliberately, wouldn't he?
Would he have done that? That's what I wanted to know, if he did that deliberately.
Oh, I think he's a very learned man. I think he would have known about the classics.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he would have known. I don't know if every because Faulkner isn't discussed and celebrated over here as he is over in America. So I don't know if every reader will see the connection, but definitely Ballard would have known. Definitely. There's where is it? What's this? Oh yeah, track 12. So it's going back to the early ones. It's like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Short story number 6. Track 12. It's like a revenge plot where a man.
I don't remember that one.
So he's punishing this guy for having an affair with his wife, and he's paying him all these tracks. And by the time it gets to track 12, it's kind of torturous.
It's another music one.
Yeah, it's another music one. Yeah, but track 12 is the sound. It's like a distorted version of the sound of them kissing. I thought that was really good. That was a good ending. Yeah, I thought that was cool. So after Mr. F is Mr. F, we've got Millennium. Gentle Assassin was interesting.
Well, yeah, this was the last one. That's the last story that I read, and I think that's coming close to my favorite story in this book so far.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's written really well. You want to keep turning the pages, and like you said, sometimes it's a hard slog with some of them, and it's very easy read, and yes, it's got a great ending, really good ending.
It really does, because I was thinking he was going in one direction.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, he's setting it up, and then he pulls this trick on you.
Yeah.
And you'll start the story, and you know right away it's a time travel story. You learn that first few pages, so it's not a spoiler. And they're having the coronation of a new king.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. I guess people are gonna know. Oh, wait a second, it's not that, but also what I like is I sometimes have trouble with time travel stories. I mean, especially time travel stories where the author tries to really explain time travel, explain the rules of time travel.
Yeah.
And I know you love the book by Stephen King, 11/23.
Yeah, I love it.
And parts of that book are absolutely brilliant. But when he gets to the end of that book and tries to explain his time travel theories.
Well, the reason why I think the ending of 11/22/63 is good is because King's very underrated at writing about relationships and about love. It's a very romantic ending, and I think that's really nice about 11/22/63. So I'm not as worried about the science. Yeah,
but the Gentle Assassins, if time travel really did exist, I think it would be this story.
Yeah, it's a good take on it.
It's a good take. It's like, this is what would be happening if time travel were real.
Yeah.
So that's what I really enjoyed about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really makes you. There's a couple of stories that just make you, after you've read it, you have to pause for a minute, and it ruminates around you. Okay, if that's happened, that must have happened, and that's one of those,
Yeah.
The Gentle Assassin. There was another one that I thought was a bit like that. What was that? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really the sleep one, Manhole 69. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's he's definitely proving himself to be a very interesting writer with some fantastic ideas.
Definitely. And we should probably thank I don't know if we can do this every month, or do you want to wait like every other month and do, or do you just want to wait till we get like 6 stories down?
Yeah, let's do it by number of stories. Let's do. I mean, my collection finishes. No, we need to do it before then. I think. Yeah, do another 10 stories or something.
Let's do it every 10 stories. So
yeah, I think that'd be good.
And I should make more notes of the stories after I read them, because
it's hard, isn't it?
It is. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's a plan. Now I know Lee's in the group, and she just bought the book. So
yeah,
maybe the thing is, Lee, you don't have to read every story. You can read a couple of the ones we mentioned, and then jump ahead and get on train with us and discuss it. And anyone else really want to join?
Yeah. It's nice to just know that once we've done it, we've read every single one.
Yep. And we have had some more people show up, and we've had MJ. Hello, MJ.
Hi, MJ.
What I walk into, conspiracy booktube. Now, Constance says, sometimes learning about the crap an artist does makes me literally unable to enjoy their work going forward. That's very common.
Yeah, but that's also why I'm not looking them up.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of these artists don't look in their lives because you'll find out something you don't like. I'm changing my channel name, The Conspiracy Booktuber.
Ghost Readers in the Sky is a great name, though, Greg.
It is. That's a good one. She'll tune in. Hey, Alan.
Hey. Hi, Al.
Should we guess at how long this live will last? Greg plus Gareth divided by 2. I think we're getting near the end.
Yeah, Greg's definitely shorter with live streams than I am.
I know you do the 3. I mean, I can't do 3-hour live streams.
To be fair, I'm not very well, so I wouldn't be able to do 3 or 4 hours today. Yes, it's not one of them.
So Greg, I think I just answered that. Are you opening to other? Yeah, it's always been open. No one's wanted to join yet.
Yeah. If like Greg said, if there's certain stories you thought sounded interesting, because we've done little descriptions of them, then you can read those ones and then just start from. So the next one that we're gonna
the insane one, insane something.
The insane ones.
The insane one.
The insane ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Story about mental health.
Insane one. Yeah, that's the next story. As I said, I'm reading a short story every Saturday. That's just my day to read a Ballard story. Everyone else, do your own. Do what works for you.
do you.
Mm-hmm. So, Greg wants in. Yay.
Deal me in.
I'll deal you. Well, right now we're just on a private Voxer, so I'll create a Ballard group and join Greg in, and maybe more people will want to join. Now, if you're on Voxer, I'm GEEMONT235. Send me a message if you want to join.
I like the fact you've learnt your number on Voxer. So I know my national insurance number. I always have, and I don't know why I learnt it when I was a kid, but there we are. It's always been in my head. So I am actually NX044293B. That's on my tax records.
That's an unusual Voxer number. Okay, but I understand. All right. Any last words on Ballard for tonight?
I have been I am really pleased with the way it's gone. It took me a little while to get into it. So I think even though I really liked the second story, about 4 stories in, I wasn't really in the rhythm, but I am now, and I'm really looking forward to the next one as I go along. So yeah, it's been, I think, because he's quite cold, I think, and quite objective in the way he writes. I think that's what made me need to get used to it. But I think he's a really good writer, and really interesting, and you can really tell if you watch him in an interview, which I have done a few times. you can tell it's the same person. He's got this sort of, he's very posh. You can see that.
I have not seen any of his interviews.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably an interview or two on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, there's loads on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. So he was a bit of a character. He did appear on UK chat shows in the 70s, I think. So like an older Ballard. And I think there's like black and white interviews as well. So Ralph's wandering around knocking things over.
Well, hello, Ralph.
You coming over? No, he's not coming over. He's ignoring me. He won't ignore my wife, but he ignores me lately.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah. So what? How do you feel about how we've been reading Ballard?
Well, again, we started off and then we sort of drifted for like about a year after the first 5 stories, and and then we picked it up again. And I'm glad we picked it up again because I'm feeling a lot more motivated now, especially since Ballard is just getting on his game as a writer. So,
yeah.
And again, it'll be good to finally finish a book that size and see an author from the beginning.
Yeah. See how it develops.
To the end, and see if there is sort of like a scale where he starts like a bell curve, like starts off kind of low and hits his high point, and maybe later in his career, I don't know, some authors drop off, but maybe he doesn't.
Well, I seem to remember, I don't know if this is just me remembering wrong, but I seem to remember before I was actually reading him that a lot of people really like the 60s and 70s in particular of his output. So he died a lot later than that, but that probably includes his novels as well. So it could be his 70s novels as well.
Well, I have
we'll see how
two
that goes.
novels right here. Burning World was 64, so haven't gotten up to there in the stories, and Crash I think was 70s or maybe even 80s. 76.
So I've got a ton of his books, and because I went into this weird period where I was just buying loads of his books, and I'm keeping them, but those 2 in particular, Drowned World and Crash, I've kept them downstairs, and they're going to be the 2 novels I read next. So I've read High Rise, but it's the only novel I've read by him. So I'm going to read those 2 at some point, and then I'll look into the other ones I've got upstairs in the loft. So, the Drowning World, I think is quite a revered one. It's quite
I have read Drowning World. I think it's one of his earliest books.
What do you think?
I only remember bits and pieces in a building with the water level. You're like in a high-rise tower, and you're on the 60th floor, and the ocean is raising up. So,
yeah,
another early example of cli-fi.
Is it also thinking about, when you said about it's a big skyscraper and there's people at the top, presumably, is it a class thing again? Because he likes attacking class. He attacks class in High Rise. Does he do that in Drowned World?
I don't especially remember him attacking class.
Right.
But it could have just passed me by as I was reading it.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if he does, because one of the things I liked, this is jumping off a little bit, but one of the things I loved about John Wyndham's book, The Trouble with Lichen. Have you read that? The Trouble with Lichen.
Now, wait a second. I think it had a slightly different name.
Oh.
This is where they find something under the sea.
No, that's the Kraken Wakes.
That's the Kraken Wakes. Okay.
Yeah. The trouble, see if you remember it. The Trouble with Lichen was when this scientist, or actually a scientist's assistant, discovers something in lichen that means that they can develop it and it can extend someone's life by 130 or 150 years.
No, I have not read that one yet.
It's really good, because one of the things I like about it is it then says, okay, well, what does that mean as far as what does the world do? And it starts deciding who deserves it, who doesn't deserve it. It's like, oh, well, these people deserve to have their life extended. Oh, clearly the royal family should have their life extended. And it was all really like interesting the way John Wyndham explored, well, what would society decide, once it gets out in the open and everyone's like, what do we do with it? So I think Ballard probably looks at what does these situations he creates, then thinks, well, what does that mean for how we actually react to it? You know, that's what I'm imagining will happen with these sci-fi books, you know, like Drowning World and stuff. So yeah, be interesting, because he doesn't. The characters in the stories are quite anonymous, aren't they?
Yeah, he's doing a little bit better with character in his later, but he's not really a character study in his stories.
No, there's no
At
sense
least
of
not so
their
far.
position or their are they people in power? Are they people who, you know, haven't got any money, haven't got, you know, there's no sense of that in the stories really, overall. And I think he might do that more in the novels. But
And we're as I said, he's growing, and he's gonna get more experimental in his stories. There is one story in here. It's called "The Assassination of John F. Kennedy Considered as a Downhill Maneuver." Okay, I'm just going to talk about Gareth Scott, and this is an interesting short story because Harlan Ellison was doing an anthology called Dangerous Visions, and this was back in the 60s, and he basically asked every famous science fiction author to contribute a story. And J.G. Ballard never sent him a story.
right.
And Harlan Ellison said, well, why? You know, he was kind of miffed, but didn't say anything.
Right.
And then I guess J.D. Ballard said, well, why didn't you accept my story? Because you accepted all these other stories. And Ellison said, you didn't submit a story. And J.G. Ballard goes, yeah, I did.
Okay.
And apparently, I think it was J.G. Ballard's editor looked at the story and says, no, they don't want it. So, you know, he
well, and
started
the whole point of Dangerous Visions, it was supposed to be controversial.
It was supposed to. I mean, that's the whole
to...
idea of the story. Give us a controversial short story. Now, have you ever read that collection?
I did years ago, and I was gonna, and I actually took part in a group read with you. I think.
I think it was with
like
David
2 years ago.
David
Wiley.
I don't know what happened to David Wiley.
I missed David Wiley. I actually tagged him on a video I've just done, hoping he'll see it, and hoping, you know, I think he's got quite a complicated life, so hopefully everything's fine.
I know he had health problems with some of his children, that I think.
Yeah, he's got a daughter that needs lots of attention, and that, yeah. So hopefully everything's good, but yeah, and I ended up just getting way behind on that group. So I had read it when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. So when the group read came up, I was like, oh, brilliant! I'll reread it, and then I just couldn't keep up with it. Yeah, well,
Dave and I read the whole, and we came out of that saying and said, you know, these stories really aren't very controversial anymore.
Yeah. And not particularly good, apparently, as well, right?
They had a couple good ones and a couple real duds. I think my favorite story in there was Larry Niven's The Jigsaw Man.
Right.
Do you remember that story at all?
Very faintly, but not really. I remember liking it, but I don't remember why. Don't know what it's about, but I did remember because that was the thing that made me want to read Ringworld, and I didn't like Ringworld. So it's controversial. I didn't like Ringworld, but I remembered the Jigsaw Man, which made me think, oh, I'll read Ringworld. I think Ringworld is terrible for character, and there's just some really weird aspects to it. So again, I think it gets celebrated because of the Ringworld idea. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, tell me again about Jigsaw Man.
Well, that is the one where medical science can basically transplant any organ to anyone else. So if you're having a failing heart, you just get a heart transplant. The problem is there's not enough donors. So if you commit a crime, you automatically become
a donor,
an organ donor. And in this story, essentially there's a main character put in jail, found guilty, and eventually learned that he's put in jail for a speeding ticket.
Right. But that's still very controversial now, though, isn't it? The idea.
See, that one's good. That one's good because, you know, you could see that organ transplants becoming a thing in the future.
Yeah.
And now Ishiguro wrote a story along that same one of his famous novels.
There was the cloning one. Never let her go. Never let me go.
That's the one.
Never let me go.
That's the one where they just raise clones as organ donors.
I think that's a lot of that is about the mystery behind what.
Right. We just spoiled the book for many people. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Dangerous Visions is a funny beast because it was important at the time. I think now times have changed too much, you know.
Yeah, what was controversial back then is just nothing for the most part. It's one of the reasons he wrote Crash. Ballard asked a friend to exhibit Crash cards at his gallery to see how people would react. It attracted many people. The hostess were nearly assaulted. Then he wrote Crash.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the story about how he came to write that novel.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies is a fitting companion to High Rise.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't read Lord of the Flies.
No, you haven't read Lord of the Flies?
No, and I've avoided it like the plague because I really don't want to read children being really horrible to other children. To me, it'd just be a torturous thing reading it. So I expect it's amazing and obviously very important. And I know what it's about. I know. Obviously, it gets referred to all the time. It's like, oh, that's like Lord of the Flies. You know, like people say, oh, they've created a Frankenstein. You know, Lord of the Flies has become part of my language, so I get it. But yeah, I haven't read it. So yeah, I imagine it's got elements of class in there as well. But I think it's more about people being animalistic and
I don't remember class in there. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just means I don't remember it. There's a little bit because they do pick on one guy named Piggy, but Piggy's a bit overweight, and it may be just the reason they pick on him. But
yeah,
it's about what makes us civilized.
Yeah.
At what point do you, for lack of a better, give up the rule of law and just say every boy for himself?
Yeah. Is it just boys?
Just boys.
Yeah. I think now if there was girls involved, it would be all sorts of horrible things in there as well, wouldn't there?
If they're old enough, yeah.
Wouldn't be pleasant to read. Yeah, so it's a weird one, that because I also didn't read Carrie for a long time because I didn't really want to read the bullying thing, but Carrie's amazing. And really the villain in Carrie I think is her mother more than
her mother is the absolute villain.
Yeah.
I mean, I should say there are some of the students in the school that the snooze or the
there's one in particular,
smell.
Yeah.
There's one girl that just can't let it go.
Yeah. But her mum is just horrendous.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a non-religious person, so whenever I hear about these very religious people forcing their religion on someone, that just is like one of my things that puts a big black mark on them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm the same. And a religion can excuse all sorts of things.
It can.
So, yeah.
All right.
Nearly an hour.
An hour. Wow.
Yeah,
I thought we'd be here 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most.
We had some people coming in and talking to us, which is really nice as well.
It is nice. We've had up to 14 people in the chat room at this time, and that's
awesome.
That's pretty good. A little bit less than my live show, but that's all right. I mean,
it's very focused in this, whereas you got to be interested, or curious.
Yeah.
After Constance said that, because we're very focused, that's why we have to go on for 4 hours.
Yes. All right. Well, we discussed the stories, I think. For me, I'm going to have to make sure every time I finish a story, just make some notes, because it's going to be at least 10 weeks.
Get a special
or
notebook.
About 10 weeks. until we
10
do
weeks.
this.
Oh, yeah.
One
10
story a
weeks.
week, 10 weeks.
Yeah. And it would be, I don't know, it'd be a couple of years of doing this probably, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be at least about a 2-year project, somewhere around there.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool.
I kind of like the idea of focusing on a book for a very long time. Now, once we're done, we should go back and read like the earliest stories and the last stories and just see
how he's developed.
Yep. Oh, we got one more person pop up. Yeah, Bad as Red.
Oh, wow.
Birdie says the Dune will be too complex for me. Well, Bad. I said I'm going to buddy read it with you, and it is a complex book, make no doubt. But I've read it a number of times in my life.
I've only read it. Well, I was going to reread it. I've only read it once when I was younger. When are you rereading it?
June is the time.
Okay, I'll put it on my radar. Again, because it's a big one. It's like, when do you do it?
It depends on your print. The earliest paperbacks that I had and I read as a kid were like 560 pages. I just picked up a new paperback that's 800 pages. But the problem is the print is bigger.
Yeah.
Easier to read.
Might be easier to read, yeah.
But
it is a very complex book.
But the thing is,
philosophical, isn't it?
It is, and there's lots of character motivations in that book.
Yeah, lots of characters.
And it really is. I do consider it the best science fiction novel ever written, probably.
Well, that's why I want to reread it, because I didn't love it when I read it when I was a kid. I liked it, but I feel like I should read it older, and I think I'd probably appreciate it more. There's loads of like classic, really like revered classic stuff that didn't hit me when I was like reading a lot of science fiction when I was a teenager, as much as stuff that doesn't get talked about much or praised much that I really liked when I was a kid, So I could have read them at the wrong time, So June, I think, might be one of them. So we'll see.
Well, a couple of let's try to finish up we have a few more comments and then we'll just call it a night.
Yep.
Great to see everyone. Alan's organ donor.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, I'm knocking on your door saying time to donate that liver or whatever.
Are you referring to the Monty Python sketch?
I was referring to the Monty Python sketch and referring to
I'm using it. And he says something like, I thought you were going to wait till I'm dead. And then he go, well, you never survived it when we get, when we start, so you will be dead. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then you get that Galaxy song.
And I love the song in that skit.
Yeah, the Galaxy song.
Apparently, a lot of astronomers like the song in that.
Yeah,
Some they get they're a little weak in some case, but mostly right.
Yeah. Brian Cox helped him rewrite it for the. They did those live shows. The last time they kind of did something together. Okay. They did live shows in London, and there was a special version which had Stephen Hawking in it as well. In part of the sketch, there was this film they made of a new version of the Galaxy song that Brian Cox had helped him with. But it probably doesn't rhyme as well.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. It's not as good as the original. Who cares about facts?
Running wild about a gated community where all the adults are murdered and the kids have disappeared is prophetic as most of his stories are.
Is that Ballard?
He might be talking about Ballard.
Running wild.
Gareth is still sick. Beautiful. Hi, beautiful friend Constance. Gareth, feel better soon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alan says, have you read Oryx and Crake, Gareth?
No, I haven't. That's another one that I haven't read. There are some gaps.
Well, I've mentioned this. I guess this can be like a sign off about is that back when I was living in Washington, we had an in-person book group. And it came out that everyone said most of them had never read a science fiction book before. And so the moderator of the book liked science fiction. It's like me. And we got talking about let's do a science fiction book for everyone. So we came back, do we want to do an Asimov classic science fiction or do something a little more modern that people can relate to? And Margaret Atwood is known as a very famous author. So let's pick Oryx and Crake. And just about this time, there was a science fiction podcast that did a monthly book group, and they picked Oryx and Crake.
Okay.
And one of the founders almost quit the show. Said, Oryx and Crake is not science fiction. This is a science fiction podcast. You cannot pick it. And so he just stayed away for a month. And then I was reading about a literary book group like ours that picked Oryx and Crake. And their members were rebelling. That book is science fiction. You can't pick this. This is a literary book club. So you have one person saying it's not science fiction, other one saying it is science fiction. Both of them refusing to read the book because of some label.
Brilliant. Yeah. Absolute nonsense.
And the thing is, it's a good book. Not as good as The Handmaid's Tale, but it's a good book.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I don't want to get too much into this, especially as I don't agree with the first statement, but I would understand why someone would prefer to talk about dystopia as speculative fiction rather than science fiction. I get it, but dystopia is still understood as one of the different subgenres of science fiction.
Yeah.
It's just
all right.
One of those
all
things.
right, everyone. Let's call it a night. Gareth, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Greg, and thanks for watching, everybody. And
everyone in the chat room, thanks for dropping by and making some great comments and keeping us going, keeping us thinking. Have a great night.
See you later.
See ya.